Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
We thank the Father, Yahuah, for being here today, allowing us to come out and fellowship and break bread with one another. We thank Him for the goodness, kindness, and mercy that He has bestowed upon us. We thank Him for our life, health, and strength that He granted us. We just thank Him for how He allowed His guardian Malachim to encamp around us, protect us from all hurt, harm, danger, that seen and unseen. We thank Him for all of these things in the precious name of His Son, Mashiyach, Yahusha. We thank Him most often for how He brought us thus far in the secular New Year. You know, we're just about to close this one out. And we can thank the Most High for how He has kept our bodies healed. Kept us closed in our right mind. None of us have been in the hospital. We just thank the Most High because I think sometimes we fail to to look at these things and appreciate and show gratitude for these things. And, when we can go from year in to year out with perfect health, perfect strength, life, it's wonderful. And it shows that the Most High is doing just what He said. He promised to protect and shelter and cover us. We thank the Most High for that. And often, how you can turn on the news or pick up a newspaper and you see how, especially this time of year, a lot of casualties and lives are being taken on the highway and all that stuff. But, the Most High grant us that favor. He takes us from point A to point B to and fro. We get there without a scratch. And just think about how often when you go from your work or your job to your home, you get out of the car and give thanks to Yahuah. Because let me tell you something. It only takes a matter of seconds to go from one side of eternity to the other. Just a matter of seconds. I always thank the Most High for that, and I greatly appreciate that. And we thank the Most High for what He's doing in your life. Giving us increase on the jobs and all. We just thank the Most High. Just thank Him for these things. And I thank the Most High for I had a chance to sit with a couple this week and go over their marriage too with them. And they were so thankful because they approached me about a month ago and they wanted to get married. They wanted to do the two. And when they called me, it was that day. I said, I know this is an important day for you all, and I'm like, I said, let me tell you something. Being one that's called on Yahuah, I said, I would be doing you a disservice just to go ahead and do that because it's your day to get married. I said, you really don't want that. I said, you need to sit down and know the ins and outs of this and how it works. I said, because this is not like a secular marriage, according to this nation and this system. Yahuah is the mediator of this marriage. Right. And so you just can't do as you would do in a natural marriage. You go to the court system, it doesn't work like that way here. Right. And so, after when they thanked me, they hugged me, they were so glad, we are so glad we waited to sit down with you to get the ins and outs and understand of how this marriage works, how it's laid out. And I'm getting to show them that, we have the blueprint and the pattern from above. I said, there's nothing that we do in the natural that He didn't already have the blueprint. Everything we do is a mimic or a copy of what goes on between Him and His bride. Everything's already laid out. And so, we just thank the Most High for that and just thankful for what He's doing all over the earth with His people, how He's waking His people up everywhere. And, we count it as a blessing to be able to see the book and the prophecies unfold right before our eyes. And, we just thank the Most High for all these things. And today we're going to look at, we're probably going to do a lot of reading on anything. We're going to look at some things and a time of observation. And that's what we're going to talk about, a time of observation. Because we're living in a time where there's something going on throughout the earth and there's something being perpetuated throughout the earth. And we, as the nation of Yashra'al, need to be more attentive to what's going on. And we're going to look at some things because, He promised to do something in the latter days, and He promised to reveal something in the latter days. So we're going to ask Yekiah Rav if he will get Tehillim of Psalm 147, verse 2 to verse 3. We're going to ask Moray Kassad about if he would get Yahuah or Isaiah, the 11th chapter, verse 1 through 4. Or Psalms 147, verse 2 to verse 3.
Psalms 147, verse 2. Yahuah does build up Jerusalem. He gathers together the outcasts of Yashra'al. He heals the broken in heart and binds up their wounds.
Okay, then Yahuah do build up Jerusalem. He gathers together the what? Outcasts of Yashra'al. He heals the broken in heart and binds up their wounds. Yeshayahu 11 and 1.
Isaiah, Yeshayahu, 11th chapter, verse 1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the spirit of Elohim shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge, and the fear of Yahuah, and shall make him of quick understanding and the fear of Yahuah. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked.
He shall smite the earth with the what? The rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lip shall he slay the wicked. Revelation 19 and 15. And out of his mouth goes a sharp word, that with it he shall smite the who? The nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treads the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Elohim. Now, Revelation 15 said, and out of his mouth goes a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. Now, we see something going on right here. We often read in the scriptures about in that day and at that time. Whenever we come across this reference, always refer to the day of Yahuah. Yahuah has a day. Is it a literal day? No. But it's a time period. So, we often hear, especially it's a common practice to teach an ideology that through the time of the tribulation that the Israelites, or quote unquote the Jews, would go through the tribulation, and that the Christians will be raptured up or raptured or caught up, and we will be left behind. So, but we're seeing something here. It says, Yahuah, he shall smite the earth, and with a what? Rod of iron, and with the rod of his mouth, the breath of his lip, he shall slay the wicked. And out of his mouth goes a what? Sharp word, that with it he shall smite the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. So, we see something going on here with Yahuah, and we see something going on with the nations. Let's read a little bit further. Isaiah 11, 12, and verse 13. Isaiah 11 and 12, and 11 and 13. You got that word, because you was on that last time, right?
Oh, okay. 11 and 12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west. They shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. And Yahuah shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the 7 streams, and make men go over dry shod. And there shall be a high place for the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, like as it was to Israel in the day they came up out of the land of Egypt.
Hallelujah. He said there shall be a high place for who? For the remnant of his people. We must often when we read this, a lot of times we don't focus on the terminology or the grammar that is used when being spoken in Scripture. And oftentimes we read when the Most High speaks, he always used possessiveness or possessive pronoun. He always refers to Israel as what? His people. And he said, I will dwell in the midst of my people, Israel, forever. And we often oftentimes we overlook these things, but we see something going on here between the Most High, Yahuah, and the nation of Yashra'al. And what we see here is he's talking about a gathering of the 2 houses. And with this gathering, something's going to be put away from both houses. Right now, as we were talking before getting to class, the Most High's house is out of order. And so you see a teaching where it has gone throughout the earth that, he came to the Jews rejected him. Now the message of the good news went to the Gentiles. That could be any further truth that, as my grandma would say, a hole with side pockets. Let me tell y'all something. Think about this. First of all, we get an understanding that the quote-unquote Jews, when we get the understanding that it's only 2 ways we reference that word Jews. It would have to be with descendants of Jacob's son Yahudah or Judah, or when the 12 tribes split into 2 kingdoms. The southern kingdom, they were all recognized as Jews because the head tribe of the southern kingdom was Judah, so all of them were recognized as Jews. Even though the southern kingdom or the house of Judah was made up of Judah and Benjamin or Benjamin. So, when we see that there's no way he could be speaking of one group of people or one portion of the 12 tribes, just the Jews. Why would he come and say and proclaim that I'm only sent to who? The lost sheep of the house of Israel. That was the remaining 10. So, why would he say I'm sent to the lost sheep? Then commission his Talmudim or disciple to don't go by way of the Gentile, neither enter into any city of the Samaritans, but rather go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So you mean to tell me he's going to come and say, I'm sent to these people, the house of Israel. Commission his Talmudim to go to the house of Israel, and he's going to bypass the Jews, skip over the house of Israel, the people he said he was sent to, and now take a message of the kingdom to a foreign nation. The first thing we need to look at, he said, my sheep have what? They're scattered. They have become a prey to what? The beasts of the field. Show me one time in Scripture where he referred to the other nation as sheep or his sheep. You'll never find that in Scripture. He has never referred to the other nation as his sheep. So, when we look at here, we see something with 12 and 13. Now you often read about in the prophet where there was always contention between the house of Judah and the house of Israel. But now the Most High is doing something. He has set up what?
Sign.
You're saying inside?
Inside.
Inside.
Okay, what now?
Sign.
Okay, I thought I heard about say something.
Banner.
What?
Banner.
A banner. Oh, banner, sign, okay then.
Like a flag.
Flag. So what we see is, why is that needed though?
Identification.
What is that inside for? You ever notice throughout scripture when the Most High was getting ready to deal with the nation, he never just surprised them. Let's go back to Sodom and Gomorrah. We can go back to Mizraim. Did the Most High just out of the blue just destroy those nations?
No.
Or did he always give them a warning? He always gave them a warning, and he always gave them a command to do something, or else this is what is going to take place. It's the same thing for the nations. He's just not going to utterly destroy the nations and use a rod of iron on the nations. He's going to give them a warning. But what you see in 12 and 13, now you're seeing Judah laying on something. You see Ephraim laying on something. They're what? Setting aside their what? Their differences. Now what you figure to see is a what? A reunification of what? The two houses coming back together. So this is why now all of a sudden, what do you see going throughout the earth? You hear people from all over. You can go throughout the North America, South America, Central America, over the continent of Africa, all up through Europe. You see everybody coming forth. People that have been looked down upon in the past. And now what they're saying, we are the children of Israel. When the nations didn't recognize them, they refused to recognize them. Now all of a sudden there's what? An enlightenment or an awakening that's taking place. And guess what they're trying to do? The enemy is trying his best to debunk, refute, and knock down what they're saying. But did not the Most High say that he said the earth would help the people? Now, all of a sudden, he said knowledge would increase. All before 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, there were documents and artifacts that you didn't have access to. Now it's made readily available at your hand. And now, not only can you say that on Israel, you can get the artifacts and the documentation to concur and to endorse and back what you're saying. But that's what he said was going to happen in the last days. So, in telling of Psalms 102, 13 through 16. We'll shake it there for
Psalms 13?
103 and 13. 102 to 13. Then jump down to 102 verse 16. Verse 13 and verse 16.
Psalms 102, verse 13. Thou shalt arise and have mercy upon Sion, for the time to favor her, yea, the set time is come. For thy servants take pleasure in her, and her stones in favor, the dust thereof. So the heathen shall fear the name of Yahuah, and all the kings of the earth thy esteem. When Yahuah shall build Sion, he shall appear in his esteem.
Okay then. It says, you shall arise and have mercy upon Sion of Zion, for the time to favor her. Yet the set time is come. When Yahuah shall build up Sion, he shall appear in his esteem. What time would this be talking about?
In that day.
In that day, or what portion of that day?
At the end.
At the end, how do we know that?
Because Israel was supposed to reign and rule for a millennium before.
Okay, just read verse 16.
Oh.
When Yahuah shall build up Sion of Zion, he shall appear in his esteem. Think about that. When is he going to appear? with Yahuah or Isaiah, the 8th chapter, verse 17. And verse 18. You get verse Luke 1 and 33.
8th chapter,
Verse 17 and verse 18.
I will wait for Yahuah, who hides his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. Behold, I and the children whom Yahuah has given me are for signs and for the wonders in Yashra'al, from Yahuah Sabaoth, who dwells in Mount Zion.
Okay, he said, I will wait upon Yahuah that hides his face from who? The house of Jacob, the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. Behold, I am the children of Yahuah. I am the children whom Yahuah has given me, are for signs and wonders in Yashra'al, from Yahuah of hosts, which dwells in Mount Zion. He dwells where?
In Mount Zion.
In Mount Zion. Well, ask our brother to get Joel 3 and 16. And while he gets Joel 3 and 16, our other brother Yahuah is going to get Lucas or Luke 1:33.
Luke 1:33.
Read it out loud for you.
And he shall reign over the house of Yaakov forever, and there shall be no end to his reign.
Okay, then he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever. And there shall what? Be no end to his reign or his kingdom. He shall reign over who? The house of Jacob. There shall be no end to his reign or his kingdom. Now, that's another thing we need to look at when it comes to the Messianic teachings or the New Testament or the Gospel. When we're looking at this, always understand the backdrop and the time in which these things were written and when they were spoken. Now, during that time, you have the Talmudim ask Mashiyach Yahusha, is it now time that the kingdom be restored where? Back to Israel. So if they were waiting on the kingdom to be restored back to Israel, why would the good news or the glad tidings of the gospel be going to a foreign or Gentile nation? Because who would have been ruling at that time? Would not the Romans have been ruling at that time? Would not they have been in their own kingdom? So why would that message of a kingdom be going to the Romans or a foreign nation? They were already in their kingdom. So guess what would have happened if I was living back there at that time? I'm one of the Talmudim, or I'm Mashiyach himself. And I'm going to Romans talking about my kingdom that's to come, and I'm going to be the king and I'm ruling. What would they have done with me?
what they did anyway.
Would they have done that? What did they have?
What they did anyway.
The same thing they did to him and the Talmudim. I would have fallen in the same footsteps. I would have been put to death. Don't you know I couldn't be in nobody else's kingdom? Talking about I'm fixing to be a king and my kingdom is going to be ruling the earth. Caesar then would have looked at you like you were crazy. That's why he told Peter, when Peter had some concerns about paying the temple tax, what did he say to him? He said, look at that. So, no, he told him to pull out the money first. And he told him to pull out a coin. He said, whose image do you see on it? He said, Caesar. He said, well, run out to Caesar what is here. In other words, you might be in Jerusalem, but this land is not yours anymore. Somebody has occupied, they are the authority here now. So you're subdued, you're in subjection and on submission to that kingdom that's ruling. That's why I always tell people, we are not free. Your money is the prime symbol that shows you. When you go to the money, you'll find it strange that when you pull it out, you see images of the same people that oppress you. That's because that's the people that rule over you. When you're in your own land or in your own country, the faces you see on your money is the people of your lineage, your people. You don't go to Mexico or anywhere in the Latino country seeing President Washington and Bush and all these folks on their money. Because they don't have jurisdiction or authority in those lands. It's to show you that you still are subject to another government or governing kingdom that rules over you. The same position they were in then is the same position we're supposed to be in now. Because it's not time yet for our Redeemer to come redeem or save us out of this. Joel 3:16.
And Yahuah shall roar from Zion, and give forth his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and earth shall shake, but Yahuah shall be a refuge for his people, and a stronghold for the children of Yashra'al.
Here we go with this possessiveness again. Joel 3:16. Yahuah also shall roar out of Zion, and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. Listen very closely. But Yahuah will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Yashra'al. Now, a lot is being said right there. It said, Yahuah also shall roar out of Zion. What would be this roar? What is going on for him to roar out of Zion? And what is it for that he will be the hope of his people?
So the nations are trying to make war with Israel.
Right, because you have to realize when we go out of this, we're going to get into some more end-time prophecies and all. You're going to see something. The Most High is going to deal with the nation. Didn't we read earlier how he was going to rule the nation with a rod of iron? So you know what would have to have happened to his people for him to rule the nation with a rod of iron.
Be suppressed.
Huh?
They would have be suppressed.
Well, they will have come out of oppression at that
But
time.
they're going to be ruling, though.
Yeah, they get ready to rule, but he brings them out of oppression. Now he fixed to establish them and set them up as what?
A nation.
A nation, once again. So, in the process of doing that, you know, something else is going on throughout the earth. He has to deal with the nations.
He judges his house first and then deal with the nation.
Right. He gets his house in order. That's the whole purpose of the message of the good news and the kingdom. He coming to restore. What does it mean for him to restore his house?
Put it back in place.
He has to put it back together, put it back in its proper place. He's going to restore his house. But at the same time of restoring his house, he's dealing with the nations. Didn't we read how he was going to smite the nations? Earlier, what he's going to do? So that's why all of a sudden now, people are taking notice to the message that's going out. Don't think they're not listening when you say you're Israelite and when you said you got the truth, you're seeking the truth. Because you know what? In order for you to seek the truth and know the truth, that means there had to be an awakening in you somewhere. And you had to have a rebirth or a born-again spirit to realize, wait a minute, I'm not walking according to aligning myself up with the word of the Most High to follow his commandment. In other words, I have what? Missed the mark. So now there's something in you, there's a drive in you, an unction and a force that's forcing you to want what? Line up. You considering what has been written. Not only you read it, but you become what? Doers of what you read it. You don't think that stands out to those around you? Do you not know you don't have to say a word to a person? All thing you got to do is look set apart, put on your cover, that Most High forbid you put some ZTs on, put your Z's on, and just observe the Shabbat. It's strong. Sometimes it rubs people the wrong way.
Yeah.
And they want to say, oh, you trying to follow that law, or that was done well, we don't have to do that. You put a burden on yourself. I'm not going to let you put a burden on me. Now all of a sudden, they have a problem with it. And I often talk with my family, and I tell them, I said, the problem with what you're saying is, I can show you that we're commanded and we're supposed to be doing this. I said, now, what you're telling me, give me the book, the verse, and show me where it's found in these scriptures. They have not been able to do it yet. But you know, out of all that, they still won't conform to what is written. They're still going to go on what they believe and what they've been taught. They can't back it up to anything. Not once have they questioned any of the philosophies and ideologies and doctrines that they've been taught. Not one time have they questioned it. And anything you do, they got to question it. Why are you doing it? How you know you're right? Who goes to say you're right? I've been doing this all my life. I tell my mom, you know, you have been doing it all your life, but that don't mean you were doing it right, or what you were doing was right.
Hallelujah.
I said, what you're doing doesn't line up with what is written. And I had to explain to my mom, like, you know, y'all keep talking about the Old Testament this, the New Testament. I said, let me tell you something. When you read it in the New Testament, I said, let me show you everything that they're speaking. Let me go back and show you where they get it from. Take all the way back to the Torah and the prophets. Show them. They're not speaking anything new. They got this from what was already written, what was already spoken by the prophets. Did Acts tell us that they taught Mashiyach from what? The Torah and the prophets? I said, Mom, so you know they didn't have no Bible back then. I said, this is something that came hundreds of years later. They didn't have Bible. What were they teaching from? And she get trouble, baby, I've been doing this all my mama said, stop that. I don't want to hear that you been doing it. I was doing it all my life. But I had to finally wake up and realize something was wrong. Something was not, something ain't right. He pricks your heart. But I say, you know, he said, men are called, but few are chosen. Let me tell you something, when you come into this truth, trust me, it was but not by your design. I'm going to tell you something. I remember one day, I think it's probably been about 6-7 years ago. I was at a barbershop speaking this very truth. And that young man right there, raise your hand. He happened to come to that barbershop. How many years ago that been on? 7 years ago. And I was speaking this truth. And I saw him in the chair. And I saw the Ruach just overtake him. And I saw him instantly begin to transform that young man. Do you not know that young man got up out the chair? I'm going to tell you the effect that it had on him. He got up out the chair tripping and fumbling and falling and wasn't nothing even from any way. And I kid you not. That's been 7 years ago, look at him.
Hallelujah.
Just from speaking his truth, because you know what? Matter of fact, it had been years since you've been in the barbershop, had it all. And I don't think it was by design that you were going to go to that one that day, was it?
No, it just happened to be the only barbershop I knew to go to before I went off to school.
And I just happened to be in that day. And here he sits today, that was 7 years ago. But you know why? It was because he was chosen. The Most High has a remnant that he's dealing with. He's regathering, he's getting his remnant together. His remnant are the 144,000, and I always say that's not literal 144,000. That's 144,000 men, because the women and children, what? They're under the covering of those men. Just like the 2 fish, the 5 loaves, he fed 5,000. But he said fed 5,000 men, not including counting the women and children. But you know he fed the women and children. But were they not under the covering of those men? Now we have understanding, right? So, the remnant is his infrastructure for what's going to take place. The Most High will not bring his people chaotic and all sporadic out of captivity and into a place where not having infrastructure set up for the return of his people. There's a he-goat that goes before the flock. And our exodus take place in what? Stages. We do not all go out ahead at one time. That's another lesson. But you see what's happening. He deals specifically with Sion of Zion, or his people. Let's go to Revelation, the 14th chapter, verse 1. Koti, if you don't mind, get that for me. And Koti Shoshana, Revelation, Pegaloo 7 and 4.
7 and 4?
Yes. Okay. And Koti, you get 14 and 1.
14 and 1?
Yes, 14 and 1.
You go first?
14 and 1 go first.
Revelations 14 and 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the mountainside, and with him 144,000, having his name and his father's name written in their foreheads.
Okay.
Revelation 7 and 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed. And there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Yashra'al.
Okay, and I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having the Father's name written in their forehead. Very important. And I heard the number of them, which were what? Sealed. And there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. So the Jehovah's Witness can hang it up. They just struck out. Of all the children of who? Israel. That's very important. Of Israel. And it said they have the Father's name written where? And it said I heard the number of them, and they were what? Sealed. And they were sealed what? 144,000. So who would this seal be?
Torah. Shabbat.
Oh, but didn't he just say they had the name of the Father what? Okay then. So we see that this number is sealed. Didn't he said that the angels over the four winds, over the four corners, he said, touch not my what? He said, hurt not the earth until you have what? Sealed my who? Elect. Hurt not the earth until you have sealed, or till I have sealed my elect. And what was the location of his elect? At that time when he said hurt not the earth.
Scattered.
Because they were scattered. But where did he say the angels that were over the four winds? What was their strategic location? The four winds, the four corners. Now remember, the nation of Yahshua had to what? Scattered into the four corners.
By the four horns.
Yep. So what he has to do is what? He's coming to do something. He said, he said, hurt not the earth. So if he said, hurt not the earth, he's not saying don't hurt it, but he said, don't hurt it yet. He said, what? Let me seal my elect first. Because so, what happened when he sealed his elect? It's a gathering. That's that cover, that's that protection. He's chapter and the 3rd verse. Well, so brother, if you would get Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, 2nd verse, 2nd chapter, 3rd verse.
And it shall be in the latter days that the mount of the house of Yahuah is established on the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all the nations shall flow to it. And many people shall come and say, Come, and let us go up to the mount of Yahuah, to the house of our Elohim of Yaakov, and let him teach us his ways, and let us walk in his path. For out of Zion comes forth the Torah, and the word of Yahuah from Jerusalem.
Where's his house?
Amen.
In Zion. Y'all know we keep going with that word Zion? Now, first we read about what? A gathering of who? 2 houses. The 2 houses laying aside their differences or the contention between themselves. Now, why is Zion so looked upon, or why is it the focal point? What's so special about Zion that everything is talking about Zion? Now, we know under the first covenant, where did it take place? Sinai. Why wouldn't the original covenant, or why would this covenant take place in the same place? Why is it so important that everything that's the focal point of Zion of Sion?
That way he put his name. That way he put his name.
Gotta be grafted back in. Gotta be grafted back in.
Grafted back in. So remember, the 2 houses, they're just not being pulled out of captivity, and all of a sudden, it's all good. Everything is taking place at Zion for a reason. Zion is the place where the branches will what? They'll be grafted back in. Remember we did the lesson on Zion, Sion, that showed that it means to be grafted in? What did it say? The branches that are being grafted in have to be in close relation to the parent stock or the root stock. That's why now everything takes place at Zion. Okay? So, if Yahuah dwells in Mount Zion and the Lamb stood on Mount Zion, is there a connection? Which would, who would be there at Zion? It would be Israel. But what did it say about the nations? Did it say many people shall go what? Say, come, let us go to the mountain of Yahuah, to the house of Elohim, or the Elohim of who? Yaakov? And what does that signify? What does that show us? It said, for out of Zion shall go forth the law and the words of Yahuah from Jerusalem. Why would Yahuah be with Israel in Zion?
That's what they be ruling for.
He said he's going to dwell in the what?
In the midst.
In the midst of it. But when he tabernacled with Yashra'al, what is the command for the nations? Now you know when it comes to the feast days of the morning, you have the one that the nation will what? Permitted to participate in? What feast day of morning is going to be required for the nations to come also?
Tabernacle.
The tabernacle. It's tabernacle. This is why he's going to dwell in the midst of them. part of the bit of people should say, well, let us go where? Up to the house of Elohim of Jacob? Because all nations are going to be required what? To come where? The Feast of Tabernacles annually, yearly. So we'll go a little bit further into that as we go further into the second part of the lesson. Okay, let's go to Deuteronomy.